Good afternoon, evening, morning, wherever you are, guys. So we're going to be releasing a lot of content up in the run to season 3 and in the first week. And one of the things I really wanted to talk about is how players need to try to improve themselves before they enter the queue. So one of the things that I see a lot of people saying is sort of like, how do I get good at four-shotting? How do I get good at perfecting with the commando? Why can this guy snipe so well and I can't? And what this really is this is a strategy to incrementally increase difficulty when you are learning how to use weapons in the sandbox. And obviously, there's stuff to be said about real opponents versus AI opponents and the legitimacy of that. However, one of the things we need to look at is just what is this incremental strategy and where do we go from here? And so you can use the commando, you can use the different star difficulties if you want. I tend not to use that as a way to train, but I tend to use that as a way to benchmark how I'm doing that day before I go into ranked. So we're going to hop in here with just the endless commando trial. And we're just going to talk about sort of how this can be used. So as we can see, we get an endless supply of bots. And we can use these bots in a variety of ways. So for example, if I'm just going to learn to use the commando, then one of the things that I'm going to try to look at first is just the fact is, can I just get shots on target? So I'm just going to follow the target with my mouse, if I'm using keyboards, and see if I can do it. And then if you're using a controller, the strategy you would employ is you would try to use left stick aim only, to just see if you can maintain your crosshair on the target. Now, I'm using keyboard and mouse here, but as we said, this applies to controller. And then you would just continue to get a feel for it. So you might try to see if you can get all the shots on without releasing the trigger. You can see it gets difficult as you get towards the end because of the bloom. And so what you start to develop with this is, I wouldn't want to say a muscle memory, I don't think that's the right thing, but you start to develop habits and you start to understand how the weapon works. For example, with the commando, one of the things that a lot of players don't know is if you try to correct the recoil, then it behaves like this. It'll stay in the same place, and then it will actually move. And this is a lot easier to show if I don't move my crosshair at all, if I let it go up. Watch what happens to the recoil. Going up, and then when I let go of the trigger, it actually completely resets by itself. And a lot of the issues that people have with commando is the correction of the aim due to the recoil. And understanding that part of it makes it a lot easier to use. Now, once we've got used to the idea of shooting bots while we're just using the left stick, or maybe we're stood still, is you then want to try and work in the right stick, or if you're on keyboard and mouse, you want to start working in walking at the same time. This might look something like this. And it's okay if you miss. Yeah. Training mode isn't about being able to perfect bots. I mean, it's nice if you can, but it's more about the fact of understanding what weaknesses you have when you're training. And then that's sort of the next step. And then the final step that I would suggest before you go into an actual academy game is to then work in crouching as well. Or, with the commando in particular, getting comfortable with a certain round of bursts at once. So one of the things I like to do is if I'm feeling particularly confident about my aim that day, I will fire as many shots as I can to break the shield. That's 7. And then I will go for the last hit just on the head there. Like that. If I'm feeling very confident that day, I will do that. If I'm feeling a bit not so confident that day, then what I might do is I might change my aiming habit to be sort of 3 shots, 4 shots, and then 1. And even there you can see today I missed, but that's fine, because that's what training mode's for, and that's why you warm up. So what is the final step in Academy? The final step is where you try to apply principles in a match to the training method itself. So this would be trying to strafe at the same time and making your movement sort of unpredictable and still trying to hit the shots. And this is the part that a lot of people don't do. They just use the academy, the firing range. They go, oh, I can kill all the bots now. It's fine. Let's go against a real opponent. I don't know if you noticed, but if you look at the bot in front of me, real people don't move like that. And most fights don't happen on flat ground either. So the academy is good for learning how the weapon works, but it's not good for learning how to use it in battle. And so the last step is learning how to use it and to sort of work in crouches and jumps at the same time. So that means then you can use it in a match. And I would suggest that you don't do this every day. You know, you might want to focus on different weapons, or you might want to focus on a different aspect itself. But essentially, you want to warm up your aim by mixing it up as best as you can. And you can see even I'm missing. You know, try some Gandhi hops and things like that. Try turning around quick and snap into a target. If you can, if you're on mouse and keyboard. If you're on a controller, try practicing the flick to get the headshot. Things like that. Little mechanical things before you go against bots. And so that's the first part of the training. That's it. Go in academy, learn how to hit while using the left stick or while stationary on keyboard. Then learn how to use both sticks at the same time, or if you're on keyboard and mouse, aiming with the mouse and the keyboard at the same time. And then finally start to work in shot patterns, start to work in the ability to crouch and vary your shot pattern at the same time. And sort of work up until you sort of get some basic comfort. And then we move on to stage 2. And so stage 2 is where we start to apply this in training mode. And again, there's this thing with bots. Training mode is very, very underrated, and a lot of lower ranked players don't use it. Even pros like Lucid on their stream will go into academy, into the training mode, and they will kill bots as a warm-up, and they will alter their settings for that day based on how they feel. So this is a more than verified strategy. And you should attempt to use it whenever you can. Apparently my computer doesn't have any maps installed. There we go. I would recommend trying to do this on many different maps at the same time, because that will also train you to put your crosshair in the right place. I personally am a big fan of live fire, so much so that I think I've trained on it too much. So I'm starting to use streets instead, and then I'm probably going to move on to other maps when I can. One downside of this is you cannot use Empyrean, Argyle, or Detachment for this. You have to use an unforged dev map for this to work. For some reason I ain't got a coating or anything. Thanks, Halo. And so what we could do here is we can go into training mode, and now that we're comfortable against bots that walk predictably, let's change it up a bit. Let's put infinite ammo on, let's put deathless on, change the allied bots to 0, change the enemy bots to 4, and we'll put the strafing. Now obviously, I've spent a lot of hours doing this, so I would start on ODST straight away. But if you're just starting out, maybe try Marine and turn the bot's aggression off, but leave the strafing on. And don't let them pick up equipment, because they will still punch you. And now, we can go find the bots. And if you want to know where they are, you can even put marking on. So, we find on the list, reveal enemy location, yes. Now we should know where all the bots are. And now we can go and find them, and we can just start to shoot them. So here's a bot here, and as you can see, he's not going to shoot me. He's not moving in a particularly complicated fashion, but notice how we're getting this left and right movement in this that we don't get in the firing range.
Cut him down quick, huh?
And it's just a case of practicing this. You even practice trying to perfect if you want. Maybe even start stood still. You can apply similar principles again, although I wouldn't recommend coming to this point until you've got more confident with the weapon. Etc, etc. And you see, you don't get super realistic movement, but you get more realistic movement than what you would normally get versus the firing range. And then, after we've got comfortable with this, if you feel like Marine difficulty is where your cap is and you start struggling to get the kills, then turn Deathless off and just practice against them and see what happens. Even give them the same weapon. Yeah? I could give the bots the Commando. I could turn the shooting difficulty and the movement difficulty to ODST. And if I don't want 4 on at once, if I want to practice more with the weapon itself rather than figuring out where to run and how to do all game sense and stuff, that's fine. We can turn it all down. I actually changed the wrong weapon to Commando there. Brilliant. Give them the Commando. No secondary weapon. Deathless. So shooting on. Deathless off. So now they can kill me. And it's a case of building up the difficulty as we go. Almost got fried by an ODST bot. It's all about building up the difficulty as we go. Now sometimes the bots will do weird things where they sort of just sit there. But it's that building up of difficulty, and it's like you can't learn to sprint before you can crawl. You have to increase this slowly, and this is how people get so good at sniping. And you can see that another thing that you get from this is now I know where the enemy is. I know where head height is in Red Room, so when I go around this corner, I can pre-aim where he's going to be, And that's actually going to teach me when I'm in a real game where I should be aiming. So it's slightly below this paint line here, depending where I am. And that is a very strong piece of information. If you watch Shyway or any other person's videos who does content similar to mine, you will look at how pros like Formal, like other pros like Bound, and others who have very, very good crosshair placement. And it teaches you this as well. We can work in other things as we go.
Shot caller.
And then once we get super comfortable, we can then turn on, we can increase the strafing difficulty to Spartan while leaving the shot difficulty in ODST. And then once we're feeling really good, we can go Spartan. Spartan bots aren't super duper difficult, but they don't tend to miss very often. You have to be on it. That guy was asleep. And you just get lots of opportunities to practice things. So, in overview, what this training to keep the video short. In overview, this training method is an incremental way to increase difficulty slowly to teach you how to use weapons. This video in particular was focusing on the commando, but you can apply this to any weapon. It doesn't matter which one it is. And if you want to learn how to duel with it, give the bots the same weapon. If you want to learn how to deal with a BR in ranked, give the bots BRs, and then you'll get a shot, you'll get a feel for which fights you can and can't win. So, summary, start off using just left stick or just mouse, then progress to using both sticks and the mouse and keyboard together, then progress to putting in jumps and crouches, and then finally, bring it into the training mode where you can go against the bots and slowly increase the difficulty. And this is the way that I have developed my commando aim, stalker rifle aim, sniper rifle aim. I go into training mode every time before I go into ranked. If I can't get an octagon with friends, that's a completely different conversation altogether. But I hope this is useful, particularly to players hanging around the high gold to platinum area. I think this is the type of training activity that is exactly for you and will help you to improve very quickly. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Plenty more to come. We're going at it hard for the start of Season 3 in Halo Infinite. And I'll see you in the next one. So this has been Vanadam. See you later.